Have you been to the doctor recently? Like, when's the last time
Um,
you've been to the doctor?
I don't know, like a month or two ago,
Did they
maybe
did,
more.
did you have to
November. It's probably November.
disrobe?
No.
Okay. Well, I had to disrobe because of my knee, and they gave
Okay.
me these like paper shorts that had like the elastic looked like tiny, it was like really little, but
Yeah.
then it stretches really big. And so I was just like have this like paper shorts underwear on, and I was like, these are amazing. Like
Okay.
I wish I
Yeah.
had these all the time.
Welcome to Friends on Purpose
Where two friends talk about life, love,
and Finding Purpose.
Did anything happen to you today that was fun or nice or bad?
No, not really. I did a good job at work.
What happened?
Well, I guess tong sales is up like 400%. And the only
The
reason
golden
for that
tongs or
is
just the regular tongs?
all tongs. Um, and it's
Oh my
because of
God.
marketing.
It's
And
because
since
of
I'm the
you.
only marketing guy,
It's you.
that's what we were attributing it to. So that felt
Wow.
good.
Did you like
Yeah.
reshoot them, or like did you like what was there a
I mean,
special
we
campaign
did
behind them?
we did a campaign, and then we've been redesigning them, kind of put out a new 2.0
The
version.
campaign or the tong product?
Tongs in general, so
You've been
they're
redesigning like the way the
the
tongs.
tong. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually been really kind of cool. It's like a side of design I've never done, which is product design. And
Product
so
design. Like you've been involved in the product design?
yeah,
That's so
yeah,
cool. Cool.
yeah. It is. It is pretty cool. Um,
I mean,
for
listen,
tongs, you know.
I'm someone who uses tongs a lot in cooking, and
I'm gonna get you some Edlin tongs. Then
I
you will
honestly, if
you
you
will not
did
go
that,
back.
I still owe you for Riverside. I keep thinking about that when I'm
No,
asleep.
don't even
And
worry
then I'm
about
like, ugh. Anyway, I just have to say two things about tongs. Actually, three things. One is that tong design matters a lot. And if you're someone who is using like tongs for cooking or grilling or whatever, anywhere there's heat involved, you like understand the difference between like the need for a short or a long or whatever. And then like the way the design, like this, like my thumb pad, I will get like cramps if it's like not easy
we think of
enough.
all of those things.
Yeah, to like hold. And so I think about that. And then I personally like the design where you have that little like slider where I can just like release it by flicking it rather than a pull tab on the end, to lock
I've never
or
seen that before.
unlock. So does yours have a pull tab to lock or unlock, or
Yeah, you know what the chefs do is they close them and
bang it?
they
Yeah.
just bang it down and it releases it.
It's saying, so I have one that like it's just this tiny little thing. Now the downside is that sometimes it pops open in the drawer, and that would be annoying if, or like wherever you're storing it. Anyway, point is tongs matter, and you have just like had an impact on the tong world.
I have, like,
I love that for
significantly.
you. I love this chapter of your life. I love it.
So yeah, so I know what I'm getting you for your birthday, because by the time that rolls around, we'll have released the new ones, and
Oh
they'll have
my
all of the
God.
features you like, except for maybe
The pull
the
tab.
lock
But now, you know what though?
part.
That's something I didn't think about
But
because I believe it. I believe
the
it.
quality will be way better than,
Oh
like,
my
we have
God.
them here because they gave me some when I was hired. As like I I I basically threw out all the other ones because
Yeah, because you were like, why would I not
that's
use
all
the
I use. Yeah.
best? I love that. And here's the thing, the like life is a little too short to not have the cooking tongs you want. You
It's
know?
true, and it'll be the last set of tongs you'll buy
Yeah,
because
because the
they
quality
last,
is
and they
13
have a
out of 10.
lifetime guarantee.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe, yeah, I can't believe that you work for a company that is like the best of the best, I love that.
The premier in
I know.
tongs and can
Yeah.
openers.
Let's not give it away or anything, but
It's such a
it's so
dad
specific.
job, like,
Very. You're like, oh, sorry, you need a industrial grade potato cutter for French fries? Don't
so what does
worry,
your
I've got the
dad do?
hookup.
He works at the tong factory.
Well, also now you're a product designer. That's really cool though.
I mean, I'm part of the meeting. So I do have,
That's cool.
yeah, it's cool because like I get to know the product very well.
Yeah.
And then, there are opportunities for me to influence the aesthetics.
Well,
So
like I'm sure like where the logo was stamped and stuff, I'm
the
sure you had a say
logo,
on that.
how to keep the brand
Yeah.
alive within the product itself, not just the packaging.
Yeah. That's cool. You're so cool.
Stop.
You're so great. I love my best
It's
friend.
just
Should we get into our episode?
I think we should.
Yeah, I think I'm excited.
Yes, me too.
Although I just want to say for people listening, the sweetest part of my day was that Eric texted and was like, I'm excited for this episode. And then like 2 minutes later was like, who am I kidding? I'm excited for all our episodes. And what I want to say is that I also feel that way. So I think we're both yes people, so that we're like, I'm excited. No, I'm excited is like how we always feel. But
yeah.
know.
Well, Thursdays are my favorite
Thursdays are
favorite days.
podcast day.
Like, yeah.
I forgot to tell my partner that it was podcast day. I usually remind her because we've been doing extra podcasts and she was away and she was coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you I'm doing podcasting. And she was like, I just assumed it's Thursday. And I was like,
hey, we're in the schedule now.
That's nice. So what are we talking about today, Eric?
Today we are talking about music, specifically the songs that defined the seasons of our lives. So that, would mean like relationships, memories, identities, you name it. Things, when you listen to a song and it just brings back all the memories of a particular moment in your life.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about. And so in preparation for this episode, you and I both came up with a playlist of our lives. So a soundtrack of our lives.
So fun. It was hard.
It was surprisingly like therapeutic.
I did it last night and I was like emotional. And then I got to like a certain point and I was like, stop overthinking it, Harvey. Like, just, like,
I had to do that too.
Yeah. Like,
there's
I was
so
just, like,
much to choose from.
I know. And that's what I found is that's why when I landed on the playlist that I did, I was like, I want to be very clear that this is not like Elaine's favorite songs. This is a chronological like timestamp of things. When I hear those songs, I think of this moment or this chapter. And so when I was listening to your playlist, I was like so curious about like where did you make your playlist like 1 through 10 in chronological order?
Yes.
Yeah. And so did I. So I was like, some of where your songs, I was like, I wonder what decade we're in. Like, how many did he do for the first half of his life? Like,
I wondered that about yours too. Yours is like surprisingly well curated. Like
I appreciate that.
It flows one to the other nicely. Where I think mine is a little more like
yours had a lot more like
all over the place
variety or diversity. But I appreciate the comment because like my biggest musical insecurity is that I'm like, I only listen to the same thing over and over again. And I've gotten a lot of feedback that like I listen to like sleepy music or like soft music or, like I just like have, I'm
if you have a taste, then...
I'm just insecure about my music taste.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Are you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm about to make you insecure.
I'm a little insecure about my church days, just because I feel so like over it. But again, it's just like, that was just me. So I don't know what to tell you.
You don't have to you don't have to feel insecure.
So we do want to run through. Do you have some factoids, some science? Oh my gosh, for Sarah?
Yes, I do. Yeah, Sarah, this is for you. Okay.
Should we call this Sarah's Science Corner?
Yeah, I think we should call this Sarah's Science Corner. For sure.
I love that because I feel like our friends are slowly
they're making their way in
our podcast, and that's so like
it's very sweet.
The flavor I would hope for. Anyway,
I agree.
Sarah's Science Corner.
Yep. So okay. So there's a lot of science around music and humans' brains. And I wanted to kind of focus on is this difference between like what we can really prove scientifically and then this other pseudoscience around like nostalgia and like a reported feeling of connection to music. So just to be clear, I'll just note where we might be blending into like pseudoscience a little bit. But anyway, very hard science is that like using MRI technology, there is a significant and notable increase in activation in the anterior half of the corpus callosum for individuals who were trained in music earlier than age 7. So basically, if you get exposed to classical or any sort of formal music training when you are very young, like 4, 5, 6, your brain activity and growth in this one part of your corpus callosum is like demonstrably bigger and more active. So music has a like serious impact on brain development, and that it has like lifelong lasting changes in the way that your brain
training,
operates.
It's not just listening to it, it's like
that's
learning.
Right. That's right. It's not just listening to music, it's understanding the mechanics of music. Okay. It's just something about the way that you have to understand music when you're learning it versus just receiving it. So that's interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So University of Southern California researchers suggest that only half of the population of humans experience physical responses to music like shivers or goosebumps or like a lump in your throat when you're moved by music. And that Harvard scientists say of those people, like the people who do get chills, when they study that, there is noticeably a scientifically higher volume of neural fibers connecting their auditory cortex to areas related to emotional processing. So like something about being able to receive music in this way where you have a physical response to it actually means that your brain is built differently. It's like wired differently.
I just thought everybody responds to music that way.
No, me too. I was like, well, I guess I'm I can get chills listening to music, but not everyone feels
on my way home the other day. It was like more intense than it's been in a long time. I was listening to Dear Evan
Celine
Hansen.
Dion. Oh.
Same energy.
Okay. Yeah.
Lots of angst, lots of belting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
diva energy.
From my head to my toe is like, whoa.
You were like,
feels good.
Yeah, not everyone. Only half of the people around us, 5 out of 10 people feel that way. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. So now we're getting into some pseudoscience.
Okay.
Research shows that, and this is like, these are published research articles, but they fall more in this, like, I even think probably they would bristle at me saying pseudoscience, but from what I can tell, this is not like, they're not publishing this in like the journal Science, but Taylor and Francis say that research shows that the biggest peak in people's favorite music encounters falls during the reminiscence bump, ages 11 to 25, with heightened responsivity to musical reward during that period. So I feel like it tracks that this is like pseudoscience, because I just feel like I've heard you love the music from when you were younger, and it's I just middle
read
school
like
to college.
Yeah. Interesting.
Tracks. Feels like
where
it tracks.
You're more like kind of in this absorbing stage of life.
Moment. Yeah, you're a sponge then. And you're like tuned into a culture. So it says like a study of around 2,000 participants found an inverted U-shape distribution of emotionally meaningful songs. So it peaks around age 17, with the adolescent peak being the most consistent finding across age and gender gaps.
Tracks, right?
Right?
Everybody's thinking about their musical journey. They're like, yeah.
You're like, yep. Yeah. And then lastly, there was a recent study using brain imaging, and it found that when two friends listen to music together, their brain activity can show a synchronization, with closer moment to moment pleasure response, producing synchrony. But that's only when they're present together. So like if you and I tried to listen to a song right now, we probably wouldn't show that neural synchrony, but that if we are physically together, there's something about like listening to music next to each
Yeah.
other, brain waves are kind of like
Yeah.
yee.
I actually heard
Again,
that I heard that wired headphones are coming back
yeah, they are.
because
You can share.
you can share.
Yeah,
That's like
which I like.
the
I really
cutest
like.
thing ever.
I know it's very, very
Yeah.
endearing.
Yeah.
Um, so so there's some like very serious brain science around
Mhm.
how musical studying music, learning music can change your brain impact. And then there's some pseudoscience around like we're like we love music and like we love the music from when we were a teen, but I think yeah, to your point, it's like a little more causal around like is it just because that's when you like have the most free time to sit around and
Right.
listen to an album, or
Right.
is like your brain wired differently? Who knows? But
It was Jack Black who was
mm,
talking about how he had been so busy he realized he hadn't been listening to music for a while.
mm.
And he's a
He's big into
musician.
music. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and he's like, so I just started going through my albums and he was talking about how he would listen through the album in one sitting
Oh yeah, the
and
whole thing.
how, yeah. And how, I mean, and that's how I did
That's how
it at a
people
young
write
age.
it.
I was just talking
Yeah,
to my dad and he was like, yeah, that's what you would do. You sit down in front of your record player
totally.
and you just zone out and you listen to it as a whole, almost like you're watching a movie.
Right.
And,
It's a whole
and
story.
I was talking to my kids and they're like, they do not consume music that
Nope.
way. It's all fed to them.
Yep.
And it's, and no, like, no,
No shade.
no, like judgment there. That's
Yeah.
just the way music is being,
Well, and
put
artists
out.
are writing music knowing that, right? Like
Right,
they
right.
know that
They
you're
aren't,
not
they aren't writing albums
right
necessarily in the same way.
to be
So
listened to. Well, like yeah, totally. Totally.
the majority, I will
Yeah,
say,
I agree.
there is one I'll talk about later that
Is it
certainly
Taylor
was.
Swift? Oh.
No, God, no.
Oh, okay. No.
Although she did her Eras
I'm a
album.
Swiftie. Don't no
I feel
shade.
like
I'm
I
like
feel like we did an Eras exercise here, just with
we
other people's
did.
music.
Which I love to. I'm a big Taylor Swift girly. Anyway.
Well, let's hear about it because I am
Okay.
excited. So,
Okay.
moving on to Elaine's soundtrack.
My soundtrack. So, my gosh, I'm on your playlist. Where's mine? Here it is. Okay. I'm gonna just rattle off 10 and then I'm gonna pick like 3 to focus on.
Okay.
So
I'm not. I'm going to talk about every single one.
okay, I'm ready. I'm here for it. So again, this is my like timeline is I would say like 1997 to
Mhm.
about honestly I stopped at like 2022 because
Okay.
that's
So
just it.
97, that would make you
Like
10?
9, 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve, Eat Virginia, Train, Both Hands by Ani DeFranco, The Passenger by Iggy Pop, Wherever Is Your Heart by Brandy Carlisle, I Keep Ticking On by the Harmonies, Strangers by Mountjoy, Amsterdam by Gregory Alan Isaacoff, May I Have This Dance by Francis and the Lights, and Love You Most by Laura Jean Anderson. So, as we discussed at the top of this episode, this is not my favorite songs ever, although
Right.
many of these songs I love so much, but why I love them is because what it makes me think of when I hear them. And so I'm going to pick the first song, Bittersweet Symphony, The Verve.
It's good.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's the first song that I remember being like arrested by, that I like heard in the car on the radio or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't have phones. I was like, what is that song? And you had to like people were talking in the car.
Can't
and I'm like,
Shazam it.
no, you can't Shazam it. You can't whatever. Like, hey Siri, what's the song? I had to like wait till the DJ told me what that song was, and then I had to go home
Mhm.
and I had to figure out, and then I had to go to Strawberry Records and I had to find the
Yeah,
CD.
yeah.
It was like took some friggin' work. And I listened to. Now I bought a CD of it. I bought the Bittersweet Symphony. I bought the Verve's album, which I don't remember liking any of their other songs, but I bought the whole dang thing and I just played that on
We have
repeat,
to.
half over and over and over and over again. And it reminded me of like reminds me of my I still have that best friend from that time. And like I don't know, we probably made our parents listen to it in the car and they were like, "Oh my God." I would listen to it in my room alone and just be like,
Are
it just
you
moved me.
a person who listens to one song on repeat?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Just wear it
over
the fuck
and
out.
over and over again
Yeah.
until it makes me sick to
Yeah.
hear it.
Same. Same.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Um, okay, then we'll fast forward to The Passenger, Iggy Pop. This was I was like invited to be like a bit actor in a play in one of my friends' like avant-garde plays in college.
Hmm.
And I didn't know what the heck was going on. And these people that were around me were like so much more culturally aware than I
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
but I just like got pulled in because I like knew someone, whatever. And I this song that like The Passenger they chose as maybe it was like the intermission song or something,
Hmm.
but it was again one of those moments where I was like, oh, this song makes me like feel
Yeah.
something, and I'd
Yeah.
never heard anything like it before, and I didn't know who Iggy Pop was at the time, and I just thought it was like so cool and crazy. And we like it because we had to rehearse for that play. We like it. There was like, okay, now we're gonna and then
Right.
hear this,
Yeah.
and this
Just
is the cue,
ingrained
and
in you.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And then it was like played at the cast party, and it just was
Yeah.
like it was all about that time, and it
Are
just
you the kind of person who like who obsesses over the feeling of the music, or like I think we had a previous conversation where you were like, yeah, I don't know bands, I don't know names,
I
I
don't know,
don't.
band. I just
Yeah.
was I don't know any music facts. I don't even
Hmm.
know the names of all of the Beatles. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a
Right. Did
music
you ever have a
girly.
Beatles phase?
No, I honestly like a real dink. I was like, I don't even know what everyone's talking about. There's like I don't even get it
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
Beatles. Like I just
Fair enough.
didn't.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's not required
it
at this
wasn't.
point. We're so far away.
And I had a friend, I had my best friend, the one who the Bittersweet Symphony reminds me of, like, she was obsessed and her family is a real music family, and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I think
Um,
as
so
a
no,
music
I just
family,
like
it's more essential.
it's
But yeah,
canon. It's like it's
right,
religious, like it
right.
was a moment and I respect it. I'm not like that about cars. I'm not like that about dogs.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know any specifics. I just know that like this
You know
song,
what you like, and you stick with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Totally. Um, then I like Brandy Carlisle. So actually really funny before this episode, my Spotify. Are you a Spotify user? Okay. So I have been on Spotify now for since 2011.
Listen, I was on Spotify when it first came out.
When was that?
That was like way back, like it might be 2010 ish.
Yeah,
I want to
I
say.
feel like I got on like kind of at the
Yeah,
beginning. So
it was like one of Apple Music's first contenders, or iTunes at the time.
iTunes, right.
Yeah,
Yes. So, I mean, and I
and
had used like I
Pandora.
like LimeWire and
Hmm.
Pandora and
Yeah,
like
LimeWire.
yeah,
Yes.
like I was like
Did you ever use
ripping music
Napster?
illegally. Yes, I was like illegally stealing music
Yep. Yep.
for a while. So then I was like, no, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to pay, quote unquote, pay for my music. So I've been on Spotify for a while. So Spotify served this thing up because they're always doing this, like you're like year wrapped or whatever. But
Yeah.
it said, it gave me something that, oh my gosh, I should have saved it. It was called, oh, it's gone. It was a little thing it did that
Hmm.
was like, do you want to listen to like since you started listening
Right.
on Spotify, like what are all the stats? So
Right.
all of this is to say that it was like my most streamed, most consistent artist is Brandy Carlisle. And
Okay.
I love that because I remember in 2005. So like for those of you who don't know Brandy Carlisle, first of all, she's a queer icon. And second, she's just got an unbelievable voice and a cool
She's an
story.
icon at this point.
She's
I mean,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah,
She's done some amazing collaborations.
she's
Like
taken over. I mean, she's
totally.
huge. Yeah.
So 2005, I'm in an anthropology store on Newbury Street in
This
Boston,
is
feeling
such a
very cool.
millennial episode.
I know. I was like, I'm very cool. And I heard Brandy Carlisle's Have You Ever,
Mhm.
that song. And it was again one of those moments where I was like, what is this song?
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
sought her out. And so I've just been like listening to Brandy Carlisle since 2005.
Yep.
So this song, Wherever's Your Heart, was from, I don't know, even 2015. So 10 years on. But I have gone to Brandy Carlisle shows, like 4 of them, and I love her. And I've been in a small DC venue with her and a huge like live
Yep.
at Red Rocks. Like I have been
Yep.
fortunate to see her all over the place, but I love her so much. And so this song of hers is just more representative of like, yes, the moment, but also Brandy Carlisle represents just like as a queer person, just like seeing I was so important to have a musician there was no like scandal about her coming out. She just was like always who she was. And it just
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
so
it's true.
cool. So that was Brandy. And then, oh my gosh, I want to talk about all of them, but I'll go to, I'll go to Strangers by Mount Joy. I actually
Yeah.
really don't. I like that song a lot, but I don't now when I listen to it, the music doesn't matter, but I have this pinpoint moment where I was shoveling in Morrisville, and I
Mhm.
had my little at that point I had wired headphones in, you know,
Yeah.
and I was listening to this song and I was like, "Oh, I think I'm over my divorce." Like I
Oh,
like just like whatever happened. So
wow.
I called Kristen Cannon because like the
Mhm.
song is like, well, I guess I'll have to fall in love with strangers. And I was like, oh, I have to fall in love with strangers. And I called Kristen and I tell you, I think I'm over my divorce. And she was like, okay. Like it's only been 6 months, but whatever. It just like, it was so specific.
Well, I mean, that
And
speaks to what you were saying earlier in our science section is, the like the emotional, was it like
connection.
emotional healing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
It
thing
felt
that happens in
like,
your brain.
and this also speaks to, I know we'll get to this later, but like it was the music, but it was the lyrics at that point
Well,
that
that's all
like I
part
was
of it.
listening to it as a
Mhm.
story and I was like, oh, that's me. They're talking about me.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
like it
yeah.
felt very personal. And then I'll just like, to my partner, a little love letter, like the Laura Jean Anderson, Love You Most. It was just
Mhm.
like, we had just met and it was just like, everything felt swirly and lovey. And I was like,
Yeah,
we have these friends who are a musical duo and a couple. And I was like,
swirly.
I want them to play this song at our wedding. And like, just like
Yeah,
very, very lovey. So
I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So those are my
Elaine in
hits.
Love. I don't think I've seen that
I
before.
know I'm like a mushy. Oh my gosh, I'm like a little puddle of noodles. So silly.
That's cute. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Uh, cool.
So
I
that's my
love that. And it
playlist.
was a great listen. So
Well, I
everyone,
liked yours too.
well,
I was
thanks. But
listening to
like,
yours on the car ride.
cool. Yeah. So for everyone listening, these playlists are in the description. So if you're curious, go ahead and take a listen. Okay. So
Should we
we
trivia?
should, we should trivia. I think it's
Should we
time for trivia. Oh, first CD you bought with your own money.
Ace of Base. The
Interesting.
Sign. Yeah, that album. Yeah. I loved it. Song you overplayed to death? All
There's
of
so
them.
many. Yeah.
What one?
Any
What
song that
recent one?
recent one? Well, I'll give you this one. Emily and I think we were engaged at this point. But
Which is
Alison
what year?
Krauss's 2005.
Okay, yep.
Alison Krauss's cover of I Will by the Beatles.
Okay.
Knows how long I've loved you. You know that one?
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And I was making her a little So like I would send her love letters, but I'm a designer, so I would like make them, I would fold them, or
Beautiful.
I'd do something to make it extra special, like little pop-up books or.
Yeah.
So I spent like literally all night working on it. And that song was just on repeat over and over and over. And after that, I didn't listen to it ever again.
Did you really?
No, yeah, really.
You were just like,
You're like,
I'm
okay,
sick of it. Yeah.
it
I'm good.
it served
I
its purpose.
scratched that itch.
Yeah. Song lyric you misunderstood for years.
Oh, I was trying to be so cool. I was just like a little, I was a little young for Nirvana, like it just like,
yeah.
I didn't, Kurt Cobain had died before
Nirvana
I was like
fans
conscious.
are brutal too.
Truly.
They're Gen X, so they're just like,
well, yeah, they're like,
yeah.
You don't get it. So yeah, like, I remember trying to impress someone in high school with Nirvana's Teen Spirit, and I was like, here we are now in containers. And so it was just like, entertain us. And I was like,
Elaine.
oh, they're in containers, like they're too confined. That one just like really stuck with me. I was like, don't be a poser.
We've all had that moment, right?
Yeah. We have. Most embarrassing music phase?
I mean, there's that story you tell of me sharing that song with you. That's pretty embarrassing.
Just feeling it.
There was a lot of Christian music that was just bad that I think I liked by default because I was a Christian. There's a lot of good stuff too, but I
haven't found it yet. You have to expose me to some of the good stuff.
Yeah.
Beyond, of course, Creed,
Yeah, Creed was secretly Christian.
Yeah.
We all knew that. They had a whole South Park episode
Christian
about
coded.
That.
Yeah.
Are you singing about Jesus or your girlfriend?
Right. It's unclear.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
A song that instantly makes you emotional.
Amazing Grace. Every time.
I think that's universal, at least within our own.
It gives me, I just got chills. Like and there are a couple of specific recordings of it. And actually, I'm just going to like shout out the one that I love the most. Judy Collins does an Amazing Grace cover that just like
get you, huh?
Every time.
So every
time.
I would agree. That's an excellent example. Anything with like, this is going to sound maybe a little, I don't know, but like any bagpipe version.
Yeah.
Of Amazing Grace or like Old Lang Syne.
Oh my God, I love Old Lang Syne.
Makes me weep.
Yeah.
When it's done with the bagpipes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I've gone chronological. I've created sections of me as a kid, me in high school, me in college, me as like, adulthood. So like after college, having kids, just regular rhythms of life.
Porch sitting, Eric.
And then like after cult. Yeah. So those are my eras. Okay. So the first one is a song by a group called Water Deep. 18 Bullet Holes. Water Deep was a Christian band. But from what I gather, they never really like intended to be. They were just like professional musicians that happened to be Christian. And so it wasn't like, if you look at like other Christian bands, they like are clearly pushing an agenda. Whereas these people were more creative in a sense that like, no,
what's the scenario? They're like we love music and Jesus.
Jesus, not Jesus and music,
Right.
So to me, that was cool. Like, okay, this isn't worship music, Right. This isn't songs we're going to be singing in my church,
Yeah. I listened to the whole song. I didn't want to fast forward through it. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
I like
so
this.
it's definitely, the message is definitely there. And honestly, it's a little, the message of that song is a little more quaint than I remember it being.
Hmm.
Like to me, it was, I don't know, wasn't as obvious when I think about listening to it as a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
But, but they had like a lot of like, I don't know if ballads is the right word, but like they sang about
Story.
characters,
Yeah, like
stories, you
storytelling.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just really like that. And it just drew me in, got me thinking about like others and life, people, and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I just, that particular song, I listened to constantly, like even into my late teenage years, of like one of the core bands of my childhood, teenage years.
How did you get introduced to it? Like how did you hear about it? Who showed you?
I think it was like the Christian version of Columbia Records, you know, when you can buy like 10
Yeah.
different. And then I think my sister Liz maybe was just like, oh, that one
Like,
looks
and they
cool.
made
Let's try that.
you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And you were like, wow, like I got
Right.
all this weird stuff.
It was either Liz or my dad. My dad
Okay.
is very musical. Music was a big part of his life in the church, but certainly outside of the church, he grew up with, 60s, 70s music. And
Yeah.
so he was very influential in introducing us to a lot of the oldies, including Beatles, the Eagles. I mean, you name it, pick a band from back then. But that's a good lead in, because as we move into my high school era, the next song was something my dad brought home. And it was Counting Crows' first
Counting
album.
Crows. Yeah.
Counting Crows is the first two albums. I don't like the stuff after that.
That was like, yeah. What was that
I
one
think I must have
called?
been over it by then. What?
That album. August and Everything After.
August and Everything After.
That was like it was like mid-90s, and it
Yeah.
was so good.
Yeah. Well, he brought home this album after, if I'm remembering correctly, he had heard a review of it on NPR.
God, I love,
which was like,
bless him.
But that was like way out of left field for me, because it was like, wait, what? Like,
yeah.
First of all, you're bringing home secular music?
Where's the Jesus in this, Dad?
Right. Second of all, you're listening to NPR?
Don't
that's
they
a huge
advocate
no-no.
for gun
Father,
rights?
what devilry is this?
Yeah, that's so funny.
But no,
Round Here is such a good song, and that whole album
Round
is
Here,
really good.
Yeah. And so
that's got Mr. Jones, like
Mr. Jones,
really good.
All of them.
Yeah.
Anna, what is it?
Anna Begins, I think.
Anna
and
Begins,
it has Omaha on it.
Yep.
Omaha.
Yeah, the whole album is excellent.
Yeah.
There's a reason why NPR reviewed it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it was just, and I was like 13, 14 at the time. So Round Here is like a very like, searching for freedom, feeling overwhelmed, barely holding it together kind of feelings, which is all the feelings a 13, 14-year-old boy is feeling. In rural so it was America. Like, I was like, how does he know me? Kind of.
Like, yeah, he's feeling. In my head.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the kind of songs, well, that whole album, and then the album that came after, I was listening to constantly. But Round Here, I think, is most reminiscent of that time. And also, it's funny, I also like associate it with my brother.
Because I think our producer, you mean?
Our executive producer. Yeah, I think we kind of both fell in love with the album. I don't want to speak for him, but we both really liked it. And he ended up like forming a band, or had buds he would like play music with, like he played guitar and drums. And they would occasionally, like they had a concert at the school, so I went to that. It's kind of a big deal for me, because it's like my first time, like as a teenager, just going out on my own.
Whoa, to the school.
See my big brother, he was a cool guy.
Yeah.
But then that also leads into the next song, because Graham introduced me to a band called Dispatch.
I love Dispatch.
Yeah.
When I saw this on your playlist, I went to their album Bang Bang, and I was like, this was an album. I mean, I listened to it from
Yeah.
1 to 12
Yep.
over and
Yep.
over and
Yep. I'm
over.
so glad you know these songs. I was
Oh,
worried you wouldn't.
no, I
Dispatch
did
was
that.
kind of like a college band, weren't they? They didn't really quite break out
Yes.
in the way that,
No, I mean,
you know.
Eric, I have friends who are still going to Dispatch concerts now. Like they're
Yeah.
selling out the
Yeah.
Hatch Shell. They're like
Right. But they're not
but they
mainstream,
I
are
think in
they?
New
I mean,
England, I think New England. I think it's a
okay.
very like
Like niche,
like
like
dispatches to New
Dropkick
England
Murphys or,
probably, or like
yeah.
how Dave Matthews Band is like most popular in the Midwest.
Right.
You
Right.
know, like they're
Yeah.
like
Okay.
there's like a following, but yeah, they're dispatches New
Yeah.
England.
So the song that I chose is The General, which is probably one of their more popular ones. But that one was like, so like I said, this whole process felt kind of therapeutic.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to define seasons of my life through songs. And I'm listening to this one. I'm like, oh crap. Like this is a song about a general who's basically telling his soldiers to go home, you know, um, and he's basically like war is not all that it's cracked up
It's
to
not the
be. And
answer.
basically is like encompassing, or like, it's like symbolizing leaving um
Church.
toxic systems, you know,
Yeah.
like church,
Yeah.
and how loyalty comes at like too high a cost, like those kinds of themes. And I was like, whoa. So that hit very close to home back then, but like now realizing that that's kind of what was going on inside me, and is,
It's such a, I mean, that song, something about obviously the narrative that they share
Mhm.
is beautiful, but then they paired it. It's like what music is. They like took poetry or a story and they
Mhm.
put
Yeah.
music to it in a way that like the way they like the syncopation of the like
Yeah.
beats happen, you're just like, it makes you pause and think that it's like, yeah, like we shouldn't be killing each other.
Right.
Oh yeah, good
I
call.
actually learned the riff, and I thought it
Did
was
you?
so cool. I would play it in front of the girls at school. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So now moving
You
into
lost me
college.
here. You
I
lost
what?
me here on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Did I really?
Yeah.
Well, of course I did, because it comes from a musical and you don't
Right.
like musicals. Okay. So the next one is from Godspell, the song called Beautiful City. And this is a time in my life where I like kind of first fell in love with the musical genre. And there was it was my freshman year. There was a class where where part of it was you had to go to college events just to kind of get
Yeah.
yourself out there, like to integrate
Creative
you into
audience.
college life. Yeah, kind of like that. Um, and so I went to a, it wasn't the play itself. It was like real Broadway actors coming to just sing you the songs. So it was like a Broadway concert kind of thing. Very well done. But it just like turned me on to musicals in a way that, Disney wasn't doing for me up until
Yeah.
that point,
Fair. Fair.
And so I ended up watching the Godspell film, the 1970s
Yeah.
adaptation, with Victor Garber, who was Jesus, and I
You mean clown
loved it.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yes, I loved it. But they sing in that rendition, they sing Beautiful City.
Okay.
And this is 1973, I think. And the way they sing it is like very happy go lucky,
Yeah.
very hopeful, kind of like, if the world can just come together, humanity is just capable of goodness. And so it's very, very
Mm.
innocent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I included the one from the 2011 version by Hunter Parrish, the actor who sings that song. Stephen Schwartz, who's the writer, who's done a million other musicals. He changed it in tone. So that's more kind of melancholy, more kind of, it's kind of like you had like the innocent, hopeful version. And then this one's kind of like the wounded, hopeful version. And so the tone was just, I don't know, I felt kind of reminiscent of like my journey, it's
Mm.
like, You know, like I'm not abandoning hope, but I definitely am not as optimistic. It's kind of feeling like I don't know if this world is going to succeed, right? But
Mm.
choosing hope
Hmm.
is still what matters. So I'm going
Mm.
to do that, and that's the tone of this rendition, and so that's why I included this one. And that kicked off a huge just love of musicals in general, and that hasn't waned. I'm still, like I said, I was just listening to Dear Evan Hansen on the way home the other day. Okay, moving on into the season of Emily, which kind of overlaps a lot of these, because it's like from high school to now. um, but I chose The Book of Love by Peter Gabriel. There's two that belong to her in this playlist, but The Book of Love. Um, uh, and this was very difficult for me because I used to make her mixtapes like all the time. I mean, she must have
Were they
had
actual
20.
tapes or were they CDs?
They're burn CDs, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
mixed
Yeah.
playlists.
Yeah.
And it was like a love letter, as mixtapes are, right? And so the Book of Love, I feel like is just kind of a classic. But last year, actually around this time, we were celebrating our 19th anniversary. This year is our 20th, which is crazy. No, but we went out, we had dinner, we celebrated, and on the way home, we just started blaring all of the love songs from those mixtapes.
Yeah.
Just singing them at the top of our lungs, and then this one kind of came out on top. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this
This is the one.
one's good. The other one is a song by Bob Dylan featuring
This is
Emmylou
such a
Harris.
fire choice.
One More Cup of Coffee, also known as Valley Below, I think. But we both discovered this song at the same time. So we were at the time we were going to college at the same time, but at different colleges. She was going to Norwich, I was going to Linden.
I didn't know Emily went to Norwich.
Yeah, as a civilian, obviously, but
yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So we were both commuting. We were both listening to a lot of music at the time because we were driving a lot, and we would listen to the same DJ at a certain time. Back when people listened to the radio.
Right.
And this song came on. And so the next time we saw her, we were both like, oh my God, did you hear the song? And we're like, oh my God, I did hear that song. And it was just like, that's a song that we both love. And it was really exciting. And so, yeah, it's just, it felt kind of, I don't know, serendipitous or I don't know. But it's moody. It's mythical.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as like, me and Emily at the Ren Fair kind of vibes. It's just like that's what it feels like to me. Okay, next season.
Okay, what would you define this by?
This would be life after college. So I'm working at the college, a different college. So we're having kids. I'm working a regular 9 to 5, kind of progressing in my career, I guess you could say, and just kind of in the normal rhythms of life. I met you. Okay, so the first one would be by Feist called 1, 2, 3, 4.
Love that one.
And this was also a time that I got like really into female singer-songwriters. So I was listening to a lot of Feist. Regina Spektor.
Yeah. It was hard for me not to put Regina Spektor on my list.
Yeah. Ingrid Michaelson.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to
Sarah Bareilles?
Naeem? Sarah Bareilles, yeah. Yael Naeem,
yes.
I think.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
New Soul
this feels like one. That feels like very like 2010 to 2015 to me.
And that would be about the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Florence and the Machine.
Flo in the Mo.
Florence.
Girl. Yeah.
May she live forever.
Blessings
I almost put her on this playlist, but I was
I almost put Cosmic Love on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, Dog Days had just come out.
Oh, God.
I just didn't,
that was college. That was college for me. That was like me with my headphones on the way to a soccer game, like feeling like this is my version of 8 Mile, like getting pumped up.
Right.
But it was Florence and the Machine. Very soft.
Yeah. Well, she's putting out some awesome music lately.
She's amazing. I have a student, a high school student, who's going to see her in concert this summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like,
Lucky.
wow. Okay.
The concerts look
15 years on.
incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, it feels a little sacred to me. Like I thought about putting it on my list, but she's so influential with women that I was like, I don't even want to touch that. Like that's for you guys. Like, you know, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys,
You can have her, but
I'm not worthy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I should die to myself for Florence.
I do love it. And that's one of the few artists I'm listening to now, which is saying a lot because I'm not listening to very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Feist, back to Feist, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a song about like the rhythms of life. And, you know, it's sung in very like whimsical, joyful melody, but if you listen to the lyrics, they're kind of bittersweet.
Yeah.
You know? And the juxtaposition of that is like really cool. And so it's not even that it's like sad, but it's just kind of like, you know, it's
melancholy.
It was in parallel with where I was at with life, you know, like seeing the difference between like romantic love and just real everyday love, you know, and finding those differences and, you know, just growing up basically. And, you know, it was just like time's marching on. And that's kind of what the 1, 2, 3, 4 motif is throughout the whole song. So that's why I chose that one. The music video is really cool too.
Yeah.
It's shot in a one take, and everything that kind of unfolds in like a single take is like very appropriate for the subject matter. Anyway, worth a watch. Okay, so this is where I changed since I sent you a playlist. I had the Civil Wars in there.
Yeah.
Which Civil Wars are great. They're awesome. Yeah, they're one of the few bands like I discovered before they really blew up. So they felt special in that way. Like I knew Civil Wars before they were cool.
That's how I feel about Regina Spektor. I knew about her.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's fine. Yeah. It's no big deal.
But I decided to change it on my way home because I was like, oh, why didn't I think of that one? And we've already talked about it, which is Downtown.
Oh, why didn't I think about that?
Macklemore, Ryan Lewis. Yeah. And I don't think I have to say much about it other than the fact that
that's a moment.
We bonded over it.
Yeah. And it still slaps.
And it still slaps. Like I was listening to it with Jude and he was like, what is this? You know?
And you were like, yeah. Your dad knows something cool.
If this is the only thing, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so final two, life after my cult, my church. So the first one is Dead Horse by Andy Squires.
I don't know. I didn't know this one.
Yeah, no, I guess he's found under Christian music, but he's also kind of fringe.
Okay.
So he's popular among like the deconstruction crowd because he's really like hitting themes head on with like struggling with all of the problematic things that have to do with the Christian church, but certainly more than that. But this one in particular hit hard. So like the phrase "beating a dead horse" is used in the song. It's very relatable, you know, just the idea of continuing to fight for or argue over or like revive something that's already gone. It was just like that's what church life was during the pandemic, you know, like this thing's dead, guys. We just need to end it, kind of feeling. And so, yeah, basically tired of trying to force life into something that no longer breathes, you know, like it's not doing it for me anymore.
Beating a dead horse.
Yeah. And so that's what that song was ultimately about. And just the metaphors he uses just are like unique and spot on. And it still hits deep for me, though I haven't listened to it in a while. I mean, I listened to it today and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. I remember this feeling.
Then finally, at grand finale, I chose Francesca.
How do you pronounce this artist's name, Eric?
I say Hoser.
Yeah, it's like, is it Hosier? Is it Hosier? Hoser?
I just say Hoser. I feel like...
Does that sound right to you? Hoser? I don't know. He's Irish, so it's like, there's no Z's in Ireland.
I feel like if you overthink it, it starts to get weird.
Hoosier. I say Hoosier. Like a
Hoser.
Hoosier, but Hoosier. Anyway.
Not hoser. It's hoser. Hoser is like a Canadian slur, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
Or maybe not a slur, but like, hey, hoser, eh? You call somebody a hoser. You never heard that?
No.
Okay. Anyway. Francesca by Hoser.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of the albums that was written to listen to as a full album. And the second I learned that, it like totally transformed what I was listening to. And so he says that he wrote the album to follow kind of Dante's Inferno.
Yes.
Excuse me, from the Divine Comedy. It's just basically about a guy traveling through the 9 circles of hell. And each song is like closely inspired by each circle or something like that. And so the song Francesca is in reference to one of the more popular female characters who went to hell because of like forbidden love. I don't know if it was like a adultery or something, but some sort of sin that was born out of love. And so Hoser is what I'm calling him.
Hoser.
Being the genius that he is, reframes her story, and instead of writing her as like the one who is doomed to hell for love, he writes her as kind of like chose love in a way that was worth eternal suffering, and so it kind of flipped it, and I just thought that was really cool and clever, but also kind of a sentiment I'm taking with me today, is kind of like, I've lived this weird life. I think I even stated it in our previous podcast, but it's like, I really love my life. Like what a weird ride,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. And so there's the line, I'd tell him, put me back in, I'd do it, I'd go through it again. And that's how I feel. I look at Emily, I look at my 5 kids, I came out of a lot of this hell, with a pretty solid group of friends, yeah, I think it was worth it, so I kind of ended there as like a nice little.
That's not a bad place to end.
Gap. Yeah.
That's not
but
bad.
yeah, I listened to it and I'm like, man, they should like turn this into like a
movie.
Well, like a Cirque du Soleil kind of performance, where all of the things are centered around these songs.
Yeah.
It could be like to kind of elevate the experience. And I wonder how much of his concerts are like that.
I don't know. I went through a big Hozier fan with his
Hozier. Maybe I do say Hozier. You got me overthinking it.
I know. Who knows? Sarah, can you Google it? It's with the Wasteland Baby album. I listened to that dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times in a row.
He's like,
he's really good.
Yeah,
he's really, really good.
I was gonna say, he was like a hall pass for me.
Oh, I mean, he's beautiful. He's very, very.
Yeah, but it's like, it's more than like
you're like creatively
like
enamored.
Creatively, like
yeah, you're like you're a genius. Drool. Yeah, that's fine. That's how I feel about Brandi Carlile, except it's creative genius and looks. Yeah, total.
Yeah, so I listened to that one as a whole album a lot. Like in the print shop, it's like really easy to like zone out to. Same with Florence's new Dance Fever, and then her latest one. I forget the name of that one.
I feel like we don't have identical taste in music, but I think our music tastes are actually pretty close.
I think it's because we're millennials,
Yeah, I wanted it to be more than that, but I think you're right.
I think it's that.
We're white. We're white millennials.
I've been listening to I've been listening to a lot of sea shanties while I'm in the print shop.
My God.
Yeah.
What? TikTok. Inspired by TikTok? Yeah.
TikTok has a sea shanty playlist, and
yeah, everyone knows about it, Eric.
I turned that one.
Right
It's kind
on
of old
cue.
now, but
That's a trend.
the Garden State soundtrack. Did you
Oh
watch?
my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was like
Yeah. Millennial.
very millennial, incredibly millennial.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for that tour of your life.
Yeah.
That was a
I
fun
know,
way to,
it's ridiculous, but
it is. But we'll post links to those soundtracks, and we definitely encourage everyone to do that exercise because I think we found it very cathartic.
Totally. Yeah.
That's a nice.
And
nice
if you
reflection moment.
do,
share them.
post a link because you know we know a lot of our listeners. I would be
Connie,
very interested.
Another comment. We will take
Sophia,
it. Sophia,
Andrew, Caroline.
You know,
I want to hear
Susan.
Susan.
I want Jude's playlist because it would be chaos and excellent.
I don't think Jude and Susan listen though.
Well, I know they don't. They're too cool for our podcast.
Yeah,
anyway, should we splash down? Because
it's splash down time.
I can't wait.
Let's do it. Splash down. Elaine,
I'm ready.
I had a dream. I had a dream. Follow-up dream. Did you dream at all?
Yes. And not about you. I accidentally roofied myself. I took 2 Benadryl instead of 2 ibuprofen for my knee. And I had a very weird night.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be about me. So just
I had some very bizarre dreams, but
this was
I didn't see
this
you.
Was Tuesday. This was Tuesday night / Wednesday morning.
That was the night I had a really weird dream.
Okay. So
well, it was, I'll just say it was like haunted housey, and it was, oh my God, what? Oh my God. Right. Really. It was, I was like this very, very involved, scary, but I wasn't scared, but I knew that it was scary the whole time it was happening. And I kind of felt like I was trying to keep everyone else being like, no, it's okay. This happens in this house. Like, don't worry. But every once in a while I'd be like, because something really, really scary would happen. And there were like levels, like, I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well,
I just want to know about your story.
So what we're looking for is similar details.
The word.
That would imply that we're crossing over into each other's.
Were you in my haunted house?
Okay. So it started off, I was in a driveway in a wooded area, and it felt like I was in kind of a parallel universe, kind of like the Upside Down is to Stranger Things, but not as scary or dark. It was just kind of like a Twilight version.
Yeah. Bizarro world.
I'm in this driveway and I look up and I see this quaint little cottage, which was your house.
Like my actual house in Vermont or my house here?
Where you are now.
Where I am in Maine. Okay.
Wow. So your partner's house.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, that's Elaine's house.
And I'm trying to find Elaine.
You're right. So like, but it's late. And so I was very I had a lot of control in the stream. So lucid. But
I love how good you are at dreaming.
It was like my steps were so slow coming up to the door.
Yeah.
And I was kind of nervous about entering because I knew, for some reason, I just knew you were both sleeping.
Yeah, it was nighttime.
It was nighttime.
And I go to bed at 8:30.
Right. And I knew you had dogs too. And I didn't want to disturb you.
Right.
But I knew that I had to go in and I had to leave a message. And so for some reason, I wasn't able to go in. But I knew that if I put a white sheet over my head, it was like my key to entering. Okay. And so I reach for your doorknob, but all of a sudden my hand just kind of falls through it. And I realize I can just walk right through the door like a ghost.
Scary. Like a ghost in a scary house.
Like a ghost in a scary house.
Like you were haunting my house.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Okay.
so, but I look like a pretend ghost, you know, like
Yeah.
little
Not a
kid
scary. Well,
Halloween.
it was
Yeah,
scary,
yeah,
but not scary.
yeah. And so, and
Okay.
so again, I'm sluggish, you know, and
Yeah.
I see the dogs. They were in the living room, but I'm seeing
Yeah.
them from the door. You know, you
Yeah.
can look down,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Benny looks up, and it's like, oh,
He was like,
everything's
hey,
fine, you know.
yeah,
And
he
so
knows you.
Lorna was chill. They didn't bother me. It's like they trusted me in there. So I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, okay, that's a good
Or maybe
sign.
they couldn't see you because you were a ghost.
Maybe, but he looked up at me, so
Yeah.
I
He
alerted him
sensed something.
somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Did you watch us sleep?
did I what? No.
Did you
Okay.
come in
So
and watch us
wait.
sleep?
Okay. So I checked the dogs. I'm looking at my notes. They were cool with it. The cat was curious, so he came and kind of followed me around. I didn't feel right about entering your bedroom for obvious
Okay.
reasons. It's like they're sleeping.
Right.
They don't know that I'm in their house. They, you know, they need their privacy. I'm just going to come in and leave a note for
Yeah.
Elaine.
Yeah.
And I also had your partner's voice in my
Yeah.
head.
Like, it's private.
Like,
don't watch me in my
don't visit me in
dreams.
my dreams. And
Yeah.
I was like very genuinely sensitive to like
Yeah.
invading
Not wanting
you
to
guys'
intrude.
like space, you know,
Yeah.
your like dream space.
I wanted you. I am happy you respected my partner's wishes, but I wanted you to come in.
Yeah, it was just like that was like kind of the biggest feeling I was having was
Yeah.
like I need to be so respectful right now is how I felt. So what I did was I went
So
into
nice.
I went into your office
Yeah.
and I grabbed a piece of paper
Yeah.
and I wrote the word on it, and I wrote it real big, and it was like with a Sharpie, and it
Yeah.
was like very like tall condensed letters, almost like a font, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wrote the word and I left it on your desk. Then I left the house, but I'm still
And
in
your
the,
ghost.
yeah. And I just roamed your backyard, and in my ghost, like I was just haunting
Yeah.
your
My backyard.
property.
Yeah.
And it was very gray. It was very like weird time of day. Like I was saying, it's
Yeah.
kind of like twilighty, like
Dusky, like,
it wasn't quite nighttime, but
yeah.
because you guys were sleeping,
Maybe it was early morning or something.
and like
Yeah.
everything was like black and white, but only because of
Yeah.
the lack of light, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yep.
And then that's all I remember. That's all I have down.
Oh my gosh.
But you were dreaming
That's-
about
I was
a haunted
dreaming
house.
about a haunted
That
house.
feels close to me. That feels close. I think we're getting closer.
Because I was like,
where you're sitting is where I was standing in the dream.
like I know. I'm like, where's the note? Did I miss it?
Yeah.
That's so wild. Well, so like in my dream, there were just things in the house. I wasn't in my own house, but I was like in a house that I knew. I wasn't afraid of the house, and I knew there were like, it was almost like I was guiding people through a haunted house. I didn't know what was coming, but every time something scary came, I was like, no, that's okay. It's
Right.
okay. We don't have to be afraid of it. Oh my God. Eric, I feel like you influenced my dream. I think it's really interesting that the animals didn't lose their minds. That is notable to me.
They just went.
But they noticed you, but they were like,
Penny did. I think
Yeah.
I don't remember. I can see Lorna laying down next to him,
yeah,
but I don't remember if she poked her head up.
yeah, or she was just like, whatever. But then
Yeah.
Loki noticed you.
Loki was following me around the whole time.
And isn't that something? My
Is it?
little spirit guide.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Okay, Graham. You want to make fun of Eric's dreams now? What do you think about that? That's so cool. No, that's so weird that Tuesday night was my haunted house dream, Eric. Oh my God.
No, that's even cooler. I think we're getting
we're
close.
getting there.
We're getting We're
I
getting
think
good
we're
at
getting
this.
there. I don't know. I don't want to like jinx us or anything, but yeah,
No,
but then I assumed that my dream was really weird because I like roofied myself by taking the Benadryl instead
honestly,
of.
I don't think that's a disqualifier. If
No, I
anything,
don't think so, but
maybe it
I
helped
was
you
like,
dream.
maybe. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I knew you would like it.
And honestly, my partner is going to be so thankful that you were not disrespectful and you didn't ruin her privacy
I
'cause that
didn't
matters a
touch
lot to her.
anything. I was very careful. Like
And you just
I was
came to my
in
little
and I was
desk.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did you enjoy the
Yep.
property though? It's so pretty.
I did. I did.
Yeah, it's so nice.
It was it's like
Yeah.
what I remembered.
Okay. All right. We'll just keep
I
trying.
think that concludes our
I think
episode
that's
today.
it. Yeah, I think we just that was fun. Should we do
Okay.
it again?
Yes, that was
Yeah.
so much fun.
That was so fun. Okay,
All
well,
right.
I'll
I'll
talk
see
to
you
you later.
later. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.